Good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Singleton, and I'm a senior on the men's lacrosse team studying exercise physiology here at Marquette. I could not be more honored to speak to you tonight about my Marquette journey and what makes this place so special for student athletes like me. So I was told that the student athlete speakers at the last couple of blue and gold fun auctions have been pretty solid. So I made sure to fine-tune my story and practice in front of the mirror a lot. I even got a standing ovation. So let me start with how I got here in the first place, because it was a little bit unconventional. My first exposure to this incredible place involved me and my parents visiting campus after associate head lacrosse coach Steve Brundage saw me play at a high school club tournament. He invited me to check out Marquette. I was so impressed by head lacrosse coach Joe Amplo, his demeanor, his attitude, and his vision for his lacrosse program, as well as by the opportunities, both athletic and academic, that Marquette immediately rose to the top of my college picks. Despite the fact that initially I wasn't given a spot on the lacrosse team, I knew that the strong academics and overall experience was exactly what I wanted in a college. So I was all in, not as a student athlete, but as a determined and hardworking freshman student. After some initial indecision on a major, I settled in the exercise science program, which was the absolute best choice for me. It quickly hit me, though, that there was a void. It wasn't simply from not playing a sport, something I had done since grade school. That gaping void came from not being a part of a team and something greater than myself. I worked hard to fill it by playing club lacrosse, getting involved in other clubs and activities around campus, and even landing a 2-semester internship with the sports performance staff. I was regularly in the Al McGuire Center weight room, working with Todd Smith and his staff on sports performance. And as an 18-year-old in a professional environment, I learned the ins and outs of coaching, motivating, and programming exercise for Division I athletes. Shout out to Todd, Stu, Emily, Dan, and Maggie for that incredible experience. So the void was filled, at least temporarily. I was regularly around different athletic teams, which was great, but when it came to working with the men's lacrosse team, it was hard. I wanted to play again. I kept thinking to myself, I know I can play with these guys. Getting on the team was always in the back of my mind once I started freshman year, so it wasn't long before I decided to go hard after a spot on the roster. Coach Brundage might label my path to the team as persistent, but looking back, I would use a word more like annoying. I sent countless emails to the coaches. I had in-person conversations with them throughout the fall and spring semester whenever I could, and I did not let up. They had to know how committed and hardworking I would be, and ultimately, they listened. The summer after freshman year, standing at Valley Fields with Coach Amplo, he put his arm around me, and he told me I had a spot on the team. I was ecstatic. That moment will never leave me. I called my parents immediately. That was the first thing I did. And it was right then and there when I decided I would not be satisfied with just being a part of the team. I was so overwhelmed with gratitude and in awe of the opportunities given to me, on and off the field, that I committed to devoting myself fully to every single one of them. So fast forward to today, nearly 2.5 years later, and how has my experience shaped up? I'm playing on a team that's going to be in the Final Four next May. I was honored to serve as the head coach of the Veteran Affairs Hospital Wheelchair Lacrosse National Team this summer. And this exercise physiology major is even the vice president of finance for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. I've led the freshman and sophomore student athlete leadership groups, and I've worked as a desk receptionist in the intercollegiate athletics department. I've had the absolute privilege to learn what it truly means to serve others, to be a man for others, through these and other opportunities. So let me tell you about one service experience that really stands out above the rest. Along with 15 of my fellow student athletes, I took a trip to Costa Rica this summer with the organization Courts for Kids that builds sports courts in underprivileged communities around the world. I could talk about this trip all day long. The work was hard, the conditions we faced were challenging, but the fun and the reward factors were off the charts. My biggest takeaway from the trip, as I mentioned in the video, after interacting and observing the local people, is that everything matters. Every little thing. Every part of the pig we killed and ate for dinner mattered. Every newfound relationship, every small interaction, every bucket full of concrete we poured mattered. My fellow student athletes and I had the opportunity to be the difference in Costa Rica this summer, and it was made possible because of generous donations from people like you. We learned invaluable life lessons that will be with us forever. We experienced things for the first time that we may never experience again. Yeah, that pig I mentioned, ask me about that. Ask me about that later. I personally developed a lasting friendship with Marcus Howard of the men's basketball team because of this trip. Our relationship has led us to start Fellowship with Christian Athletes, or FCA, on Marquette's campus, because we wanted to create a group of people who could grow together, build each other up, and learn more about our Savior, Jesus Christ, in the process. Our fellowship informally started in Costa Rica, and now that we're back home, continues to grow strong roots. So all of these opportunities have been life-changing. But the common denominator among all of them is people. Starting with Coach Amplo. He has taught me and others about leadership, about what a high-functioning team and a healthy culture should look like. I'm equipped to clearly define what's important to me and to fight for it, no matter what. Coach Amplo exemplifies how to put family first, how to lead, motivate, and manage a group of 60 18 to 22-year-old knuckleheads. Coach Amplo gave me an opportunity nearly 4 years ago to be a part of something greater than myself and to fill a serious void that I had. I would run through a brick wall for Coach Amplo. I'm motivated every day not only to make him proud that he took a chance on me and it paid off, but because I know that I have a coach that would run through a brick wall for me. Right up there with Coach Amplo is Katie Simmet, who is the Assistant Director for Academic Services and Student Programs at Marquette in athletics. She's been a rock. If it wasn't for Katie's encouragement, I might not have gone to Costa Rica last summer and come home with memories of a lifetime. When Marcus and I decided that we wanted to start Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Marquette, it was Katie that helped make it happen. She has challenged me and pushed me to reach my full potential as a student athlete. When it comes time for me to say goodbye to campus and collegiate lacrosse, Katie is one of those special people that I'll greatly miss. But I'll move on knowing that I always have a home and a family here in Milwaukee. So from Coach Amplo to Katie and countless others, including my incredible teammates, what's up, guys? True men for others. The Marquette family is special, and people are the difference at Marquette, including the alumni, parents, and friends in this room who are so passionate about Marquette athletics. I'm a walk-on lacrosse player from Wheaton, Illinois, who's accomplished so much in 4 years, and I still have so much to achieve. I feel prepared for it, charged up even, about all the unknowns that lie ahead. Black Swan. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak tonight and to be a part of this great celebration of Marquette athletics. In just a few minutes, I'll join with my fellow Marquette student athletes on this stage as a reminder that your sport tonight positively impacts the experience of each and every one of us and will continue to do so for future generations of Marquette student athletes. We are Marquette, and you are the difference to the lives of student athletes today and tomorrow. Thank you.
Nick, that was incredible. And for a personal moment, this is where my worlds collide. So my mother and her family are from Costa Rica. So Marquette and Costa Rica coming together here. And Nick, on behalf of everyone in this room, I join them in applauding you for the great work that you did not only in Costa Rica, but here at Marquette and in the Milwaukee community. So well done.